So some of you may have noticed that I haven't done any VeggieTales or Big Idea videos as of late, but I do have my reasons. For you see, I am a very busy and important person. Without me, who is going to go around telling everyone who doesn't think like I do that they're morally reprehensible scum? And I will have you know that I have actually done a video update in the last few years, letting people know why I haven't done any VeggieTales videos recently. I want to make this perfectly clear if I haven't already. The VeggieTales and Big Idea videos have no set schedule, and they will be done when they're done. Ariel, get that off the screen now! Okay, enough dilly-dallying. I should give you an actual reason that's semi-serial about why I haven't done any VeggieTales as of late. So the reason I've prolonged doing another veggie video is because I've seriously tried doing a VeggieTales in the House video at some point, but I really had a hard time getting motivated to sit down and rewatch more than a few minutes. And it especially didn't help with the recent slump the VeggieTales brand has been in the last few years. Sure, VeggieTales in the House and its successor In the City eventually got the axe, and things did start to look up with the VeggieTales show, considering the original designs and original cast and crew were returning the show back to its roots. Pun! My original plan was to review every single episode, but I hit a snag and the episodes became hard to gather footage for, and they released a lot of episodes in a short amount of time. It was hard to keep up with, even for a technologically confused early 20-something like myself. What I can say is I have successfully seen all the episodes, and they were very good. Honestly, it would be a bit hard to do videos on them since they didn't really offer a lot of material for a full video in my style, because I don't like talking about things I like very often, because I do not feel joy in any way, shape, or form. Especially not in this economy. But then, the evil corporate overlords who own the rights to VeggieTales, NBC and Universal, did a complete overhaul to the VeggieTales brand, kicking the original creators Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki off their own creation.
Oh my gosh, they basically pulled the Powerpuff Girls 2016!
And with most of the original voice cast off the project, they decided to rebrand VeggieTales with new voice actors, a bunch of new writers, back to the secular heathenism of In the House and In the City, with little to no religious content on display, and worst of all, there's now a VeggieTales podcast. Naturally, the VeggieTales community has not taken too kindly to this, either dedicating multiple videos and posts on how horrible this is, or straight up cutting the series off entirely, declaring it is hash brown, not my VeggieTales. And I'm one of them. I seriously give a lot of credit to the people out there who dedicate time and videos to new VeggieTales because, I'm sorry, I just don't have the patience to sit through any of the new VeggieTales content. I mean, unless the channel manager or my coworkers tell me that I have to do a video talking about something I don't want to. Like they always do. But I decided I would compromise. How about we talk about the last episode of the original VeggieTales era, which just so happens to have the new designs that were used for In the House as a way to try and ease fans from the original series into the new series. And hey, it's an adaptation of a Bible story, one that we've talked about plenty of times on The Captivating Christian, Noah's Ark. So how about we just pretend this is a VeggieTales in the House episode and just get it over with, and then never talk about this ever again. It was really hard to watch, Ariel. It really was. Let's just get this over with. This is VeggieTales Noah's Ark.
Hi kids, I'm Bob the Tomato.
And I'm Larry the Cucumber.
Welcome to VeggieTales.
Bob, I gotta say, you look nice today. Did you get a haircut?
Oh, yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Nice of you to notice. You look a little different, too. Have you been working out?
Yeah, I've been doing some push-ups.
Oh good, just a couple seconds in and they already try to be meta by having the characters tiptoe around the fact that their designs are different. Already a few seconds in and I'm already mad.
You know what, Bob? I think we should just address the elephant in the room.
You think so?
Yep. Hey, Roger!
Is that elephant just really small, considering how it is to scale with the vegetables? And if that's supposed to be a real elephant, then how come the people who own this kitchen haven't discovered that? And for that matter, how come they haven't discovered the sentient vegetables on their countertop yet?
He seems nice. I just have one little question. Why in the world did you bring an elephant onto the countertop?
Anyway, Larry says he'll be retelling Noah's Ark from the perspective of one of Noah's sons, Shem. This broccoli fellow, played by... Wayne Brady? Seriously? Yeah, the last few VeggieTales episodes were kind of notorious for this, being filled with forced celebrity cameos to help keep them relevant. Not only that, but they also love putting in way too many musical numbers on account of their now longer runtime. Good to know the last episode was guilty of this as well, especially considering Wayne Brady is not a singer or anything. Let's begin with a song number about how Shem and his wife just love each other.
Salt goes with pepper and carrots with peas. A sock with its mate.
Macaroni and cheese.
A cup and a saucer.
Or a pair of shoes.
The best things in life come in Tuesday.
First song in, and I'm already dreading rewatching this. Oh, and of course the Ark looks like an orange.
Guess what we've been doing the whole time you've been on your honeymoon?
Grab a tool. It's hammer time.
Ha! Hammer? Hammer time? Like Mick Hammer? You get it? I understand that reference.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
Not before Sadie tells us about the honeymoon.
Come on, girl. We want to hear all about it.
And don't spare the details.
Oh, and Noah's family have a pet pig named Bacon. It's a little inappropriate considering the added bacon character in VeggieTales In The House. It's kind of sick when you think about it. Anyway, Shem tells Noah that this plot of land that they're building the Ark on was intended to be where him and his wife were to build their home. Because it's not like there's other open land near there or anything. This results in another song, because of course it does.
I got plans to build a life and spend it with my awesome wife.
Now, if you want to know how many songs are in this episode, I'll tell you right away. There's 10. 10 song sequences in a 50-minute runtime. Buckle on up, folks. It's only going to get worse from here. And for future reference, I'm going to be skipping a couple of songs here and there because, really, they don't add anything to the story. And if you want my opinion on most of the songs, they're not very good. You know, some hack fraud YouTube reviewers would probably say something like, how is it a grape and a blueberry can have a tomato, a cucumber, and a broccoli as sons? But I'm not surprised. This is a show about talking vegetables retelling Bible stories after all.
I've got something I've been trying to ask you, and you've got to listen to me, okay?
All right, son. What is it?
Why did God ask you to build this boat?
Because the earth is going to be flooded, Shem.
Okay. What?
So after a moment later transition slide, Noah and his family are ready to load the animals onto the Ark. This leads to a fourth song, and it's probably the best song in the episode. It's simple enough, telling us that God has a plan for all of us. It's far from perfect, but in this era of VeggieTales, I will take what I can get. Still though, this has to be the worst musical I think I'll ever cover on this show. Worse than Pippi Longstocking. Worse than The King and I 1999. Worse than The Magic Voyage. Actually, you know what? On second thought, I take that last part back. It's nowhere near as bad as that. But it's close. It's very close. Pogrape, as Noah, assigns everyone a job on the Ark, Shem being in charge of the birds.
Life with Sadie just started. This isn't what I wanted for us.
Sometimes our plans need to wait, Shem. The world is about to change.
This is going to sound like a nitpick, and it's mainly because it is, but I will never get used to hearing a non-French accented Madame Blueberry on this show. It just doesn't feel right. Also, I hate to tell you this, Shem, but she is right. The world is going to have a gigantic flood that's going to wipe out all life, aside from you and all the animals on this Ark. So you better get used to putting your life on hold to make sure that your veggie species survives.
Shouldn't there be a friend for little bacon?
Indeed. And there she is now.
I'm so happy for you. And what's your name, little lady? I think I'll call you Pork Chop.
After a reprise of the fourth song from earlier... Oh, that is just cheating. I get you're trying to do a musical and all, but seriously, reprisals and montages are just the cheapest way of going about it. Even Sunday School Musical didn't sink that low.
We then get a silly song with Larry segment, and like the rest of the episode, it's not very good. Mainly because the music doesn't feel anything like a usual silly song. Most of the time, the silly songs were modeled after specific genres of music, but here, it's just a plain and average song about Larry going on a treasure expedition for a golden egg that turns out to be filled with chocolate.
'Cause now we are holding our golden egg.
It also doesn't help that this silly song, like a lot of the later episodes of VeggieTales at this time and nowadays, is clearly written by people who were not associated with the original, so it lacks a lot of the same kind of charm the original VeggieTales had. Well, anyway, back to the main story. No, he's just dreaming, and he's abruptly woken up when he falls off his bunk.
I had a dream. There were birds all around me.
Maybe because your pillow's made out of birdseed?
Or maybe you're just going a little stir-crazy?
And here's the kicker. They still haven't set sail yet. Yeah, Shem tries to leave the boat by crawling down a rope before anyone else can notice, but his plans are ruined as the rains begin. So the floods finally come, and the veggies make it clear they're scared for what the future could hold for them.
Just rain, right? I mean, how long can it last? How is this possible?
The rains finally let up, leading to our next song number. In fairness, we are 27 minutes in, and this song is spaced out 15 minutes since their last song number, so maybe they're finally learning about how to do this properly. But to squander any sense of goodwill I may have had, they immediately do that time card joke for the third time, and it's still not funny.
You know, the time distance lines are just not the same without a French narrator. They seriously could learn a thing or two from SpongeBob SquarePants. So because of this, I spit at you.
We just can't live on this ark for the rest of our lives. We're running out of hobbies to pass the time.
He's right. We only have one jigsaw puzzle, and this is the 5th time I've put it together.
Also, small detail, but that jigsaw puzzle is of Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. Despite the fact that Jonah would not happen in the Bible until long after the story of Noah, so that's just silly.
Shem said to meet him here.
He just said, meet me by a pile of randomly stacked crates?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Behold, Plan B. A flying machine to take us into the air and away from this seasick life.
Into the air and where?
To land.
Is this part of God's plan?
It's improving on it. I'm just helping him along.
We then get a montage of these three trying to build an aircraft. It's not too funny, and by the looks of it, they might be on a hot streak at trying to kill the animals they're allegedly saving, but remembering they're barely halfway through this thing, they decide to throw in some tension by having a giant wave head towards the ark. No, do not reprise that song!
Stop it! Stop the music! Enough already!
Oh, thank the Lord.
This plan is not God's plan.
Anyone who climbs aboard my craft will be safer than on this boat!
Really, Shem? That ark has been through a major flood and just survived a giant wave that could have easily wiped all of you out, and you're still convinced it's not safe after all that it's been through?
Apparently they feel like padding this even more to hit that 50-minute runtime, so the Ark is now attacked by a giant squid. Yeah, you remember that in the story of Noah's Ark? I don't. It's such a terrible addition, it seems the characters even acknowledge it.
This is the Bible story of the Ark, Noah's Ark, and you are not in it. So go home. You can come back for Job.
Oh no, just the way the music is swelling in the background, I feel like this is a sad song coming on. Really, it's just Shem being emotional and wallowing in self-pity. I refuse to sit through any of it. Next scene.
This is fantastic. Where could we be? Some mountain. We should name it.
How about Mount Where We At?
That's catchy.
You know, 'cause it's where we at.
Well, Noah finally listens to his son and decides to send a bird out to look for signs of proper dry land. Even though Shem says he was just being sarcastic when he suggested it, I don't know. Either way, it results in them sending out the raven. Yeah, depending on different versions of the story, it's a dove or a raven dove. It doesn't matter. It's almost over.
It's weird putting our faith in a bird.
No, we're putting our faith in God.
What do you mean?
Where have you been in the last 6 months, 40 days, and 40-something minutes, useless background character?
Send our hopes out into the air on kind of a little wing and a prayer.
No.
So everyone gets off the Ark with the now dry land, which doesn't seem to have a drop of water in sight. That was pretty fast. And as a sign that God will never flood the earth ever again, the veggies notice a rainbow in the sky.
Look, everyone. What's that?
The Lord is making us one more promise.
What's it mean?
The rainbow is a sign of God's covenant with us. It's his promise to never allow the whole earth to be flooded again. So, what's next, Dad? Time for us to start over.
You kids go forth and multiply.
I have no idea what that means.
I'll explain it to you later.
Well, we're finally done the story, meaning all we have left now is the closing countertop segment and verse from Qwerty the computer.
The word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does. Psalm 33:4.
Excuse us, Roger.
Seriously, Larry, you gotta get that elephant out of here before he...
Whoa.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven, please don't let that be the final joke you end on. Don't make the last episode of the original classic era VeggieTales be a poo-poo joke.
Well, sailor, have fun swabbing the deck.
Really, Roger?
So that was Noah's Ark from VeggieTales. And it's really bad. Look, I will freely admit that I am biased towards the original VeggieTales because I grew up with it, and it was honestly one of the best Christian children's shows I ever had growing up. But just seeing this, and how far VeggieTales had sunk, and would continue to sink many years after the fact, aside from the episode being needlessly long, and it just feels like an excuse to have a forced celebrity cameo from Wayne Brady, who they decided to have sing even though he's not a singer. Maybe in some other episodes where you got people who were professional singers to show up and do songs, it made sense. Why would you dedicate a whole episode to being a musical with someone who's not a singer? Why did they have this new character? I mean, other than the fact that they needed him to be older so that he could be married, why didn't they just have this character be played by Junior Asparagus? Junior is the perfect character for a young person who can act snobbish and childish because he's just a kid. So it's okay when he does those kind of things because he eventually learns, and it's something that younger viewers can relate to. The entire thing is just sad because VeggieTales usually did a really good job at making Bible stories fun for younger viewers, but this was just incredibly padded out, and it seemed like they were just not having fun with the source material. This was a show that actually managed to do a child-friendly episode of David and Bathsheba, and that was leagues above this one. And then you get to the humor, which mostly falls flat, with the occasional line from Larry that's actually okay. Still, this feels like this just goes against everything VeggieTales originally stood for. My advice, if you're looking for an episode of this show that had a Noah's Ark theme to it, I say check out Minnesota Cuke in the search for Noah's Umbrella. This isn't even a perfect episode or anything, but it was still leagues above whatever the heck this was supposed to be. I know, Ariel. I know. I know. I need a minute. I need to calm down.